Can I do it? Edit. Wait, can I watch myself? Yo, can I? I'm going to jump to the conclusion that it's working because I can hear my past self talking to myself. Oh look, that's what I was doing just a little bit ago. Wow, the magic of television. Um, right, so now that that's out, can I minimize this? I can minimize this, right? I'm minimizing this. Can I minimize this? I'm minimizing it. Alright, so assuming everything worked, this is a stream. I rehearsed this. Right, so if you're just tuning in, welcome. I'm thrilled you're here. Essentially, all I plan on doing is just working on, as the title says, the Gekkoukan and Yasogami High Challengers, and touching up the Shujin one. Sevens and St. Hermlin already done. If those names don't mean anything to you, that's awesome. They're from the Persona game series franchise thing. So I used to be a radio show host. Does it show? Can you tell that I'm that great at speaking? Is it still working? I think it's still working. Is it still working? I think it's still working. Is it still working? I have to check like every 30 seconds because I've never done this before. So, is it still working? It is still working. Okay. Awesome. Alright, cool. So, right then, working. Challenger. I hope it caught that. Did it catch that? It should have caught that. Anyway, as I said, the St. Hermlin and Sevens are done. So we're going to work on the Gekkoukan variant. I did make some progress on it. Unfortunately, things kind of got awkward, so I just stopped. So it's not finished. The chassis kind of started. But again, there's this stupid white... Because the problem I'm facing with a lot of these uniforms is black and white are like the major components, right? But then in the Gekkoukan uniform case, there's a lot of red. Sure, we can just put the bow in, put the armband somewhere, and call it good. But when I want people to look at this thing, I want it to be instantly recognizable, right? So I want them to look at the tank and go, yes, that's based off the Gekkoukan uniform. I can tell just by looking at it. And so there's more than just colors we have to interpret. We have to incorporate any symbols, as well as colors. Anything else prop-wise we can add. So I've been toying around with adding an evoker because it's right there. The Gekkoukan High Crest, yes, that's going to be on the tank. It was on the others. Well, the school symbols are relevant to each skin, but Gekkoukan is going to have the Gekkoukan High skin, because duh. We're going to need to put the C's armband somewhere. Stuff like that, to give you a basic idea of like what I mean. If we look at the other, this is really laggy. Is this just because of the capture software, or is that something else? It's probably something else. Looking at the St. Hermlin stuff. Where's the St. Hermlin stuff? It is... We passed it. Ooh, she's an elusive girl. Where is she? There she is. So if we look at like... Right, St. Hermlin, right? It's like this green-gray uniform, blue tie on the female uniform. The male uniform doesn't. Where's a better image? This, yeah, right. So it's just the green-gray, black outline. There's some white. We know there's some white because he's wearing a white shirt, duh. And then the crest. Reflected in the skin that I made, it looks like this, right? So we do have the green-gray, we have the white, we have the design on the tie. you know, generic Challenger markings, because Challenger, and then the St. Hermelin logo on the sides of the turret, the blanket, and the back here. And that's uniform on all of them, really. St. Gloriana is not a school from Persona, forget that. Sevens. I got the Sevens crest back here on blanket, either side of the turret, black and white stripes, orange bow because the female uniform has that, right? You look at that, that's Sevens for those that have played Persona 2. A lot of you chumps may have played Persona 5. Persona 5. It should be more or less recognizable what it is that you're looking at, and so that's the kind of look we want to create for the Gekkoukan variant. And of course the problem I'm facing is how do we incorporate white into it? And of course, what the hell to do with the evoker? Do I make a holster for it? You know, I don't really know. These questions, of course, will solve themselves as we work on it. So, intro junk out of the way, and I, again, need to confirm that it caught those War Thunder bits, because dipping in and out of a game, because I'm just using like a desktop capture kind of deal, so I don't know if just dipping in and out of the game itself will like cause it to crash. Let's wait and see if my dumbass... Yes, it's working. What about the card holster? How do we incorporate white into it? Right, do I actually have do I have means to answer questions as they pop up, or do I constantly have to... Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Alright, what was the question? Yes, it's working. What about the card and holster? Yes, so a big part of, as I said, the Persona 3 uniform is, of course, the holster. I do want to incorporate the evoker into it because that's really integral to Persona 3. The card, as in like the back of the tarot card, I might put on Persona 4, since their whole summoning thing is crushing the card. That's pretty integral. That being said, Persona 5 is a ripping off the mask, but I didn't put any masks on the Shujin variant. I might not. I might. But I did put the Phantom Thief logo on the back of the blanket, so that's kind of its reference. Right. Let's get to work. Enough chit-chat. We are on the clock, because at 8 o'clock UTC, Gaijin's going to shut down War Thunder to update the thing, and that means it's going to kick me off. So, and that's going to make me a salty little bitch. So let's get to work, get as much work done as we can before then, and that'll make Johnny a happy boy. What the fuck did I just say? Right, Gekkoukan, G, here it is. Okay, what was I working on? Right, incorporating the white. Yes, so I had this idea a couple nights ago. I was laying in bed and I was thinking, what if we took the armband and put like a white backdrop on it, and then we'll use the armband on the side. I was going to wrap the armband around the muzzle brake. That's not a muzzle brake, that's a fume extractor. This is the muzzle brake. That's not a muzzle brake either. I was thinking of wrapping the C's armband around the fume extractor. Just because making the armband work on the sides, those two center plates are mirrored. So I'd have to do this side first, get that lined up, which is a lot of work, but I'll just do it anyway. We'll see how it looks. Do I have a sample for that? I do, but it's not in that folder. It is... Well, first things first, where's the bit that controls the white? Because that's just annoying, I want to get rid of that. Those are the rivets, those are the lines, that's the ribbon, there's the white. Delete layer. Okay, now I need to get the sample of the C's logo, because I do have like a C's stripe that I can stretch across, and then... No, that's not going to work, because it's not the same color throughout. What am I looking for? I need just like this. Just like the red stripe design. I might have... harvesting for resources, this is a big part of it. This is a big part of doing this kind of work. Just looking for the pieces that I need. Oh, this. It's too small. This is... I need... yeah. That's a bit too red, but we'll keep it just in case. It went to downloads. That's not great. We're not... we can't go to the downloads folder because that'll tell... There we go. Okay. I just need like a good red... I just need a good red and black, just stripe job. But doesn't look like we're gonna get that. So, no, we can just write C's on it. We don't need to fumble around with a perfect sample because we're not going to find it. We're just going to take this and run with it. Yeah. Just gonna, I really hope this up, is that too bright? That's not this, it might be too bright. Because if that red there is the red we want for basing it off of that red, yeah, that's gonna be too bright. So we're gonna have to tone the back. We're gonna have to tone this down. And the ribbon was custom. I had to make the ribbon myself. Where's the ribbon? There's the ribbon. We want that red. Yeah, it's a darker red. That's gonna work out better, I think. No, we don't want to zoom in on that one. We want to zoom in on this one. It's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong by all means, but a number of the streams I've seen, which has been like maybe 2, they have like music going on in the background or something. I saw one that must have like NPR or something going on. Wait, what the hell? It's not flat. Oh, that's gonna be, how do we want to do that? Do we want to, how is that gonna, is it slanted? That means the whole thing's gonna have to be remade or whatever. I'll do it. This better look good. I'm gonna spend like half an hour working on this, and I'm gonna implement it into War Thunder. Be like, you know what? I don't like the way that looks. That's happened before, where I spend a good deal of time working on like a very specific thing, and then once I look at it in game, I don't like it. But that's just part of this, right? You don't know what? Yeah, I missed a spot. Fudge nuggets. But a lot of this is just trial and error. Jumping around on so many topics, yeah. And we can just cut. Yeah, well, since this is uniform in design anyway, we could just, you know, take what we need, snip it off, and then add it to the stripe later on. The title of this thing says that we're going to work on the... that needs to be brought down more. Oh, no, they have to be the same. Oh, you know what we'll do, actually? We will take this bit, copy, paste it, and just move it down. That's what we do. We'll just move it down. That way we can ensure it's the same size. Oh, but how big is this? Take that, put that there, grab our little piece, move it down to there. Okay. Okay. I should have, in hindsight, I probably should have made that separate layer so then I could just color the whole thing black and... Oh, there's still time. Just take this. Control-C, Control-V. Okay, that's our other layer. Take this, no, take this bit. Control-C, Control-V. That's our other layer. 2 new layer. Merge down, merge down. Awesome. Then we can just take... What black do we want? Do we want a black? Do we want the black to be different than the black that's on the tank? I think we do. So we'll just use this black. And... larger brush. There we go. Yeah. And then, so now what we can do... do I want... No, it's fine. Start from here. Make sure that's flush. That's flush. Take this bit, drag it all the way down. Okay. Bring that down. Control C. And there it is. Oh! That's a bit... I feel like that's a bit too wide. Like the center bar is too wide for... I need to look back at the armband again. Yeah, we don't want to go, no. I still feel the black bands could be a bit thicker, because that's going to need to be squared away before we get to work on lining it up, because this isn't going to be in line. It looks all pretty and in line, like all the plates are going to line up, but no, it's not. There's going to be like a few pixels off. So this is that, right? Yes, it is. Yeah, how high do we want this thing? There? Higher? There, maybe. And then we just... Is that going to screw it up too? What would that do? Oh, that's not too bad at all then. Bring that down to there. And let's take a look at that. We'll save that. And now for the actual fun part, where we get to just take our little change and implement it. So, you know, can I move this microphone somewhere where it's not in the way? I can't. Pay attention, because it's going to go fast. Alright, did you catch all that? No? Awesome, that's okay, we'll come back to it multiple times. Gekkoukan 1, export, yes, we want to replace it. DXT5. Alright, let's see what that looks like. See, I almost feel like it needs the white stripe on the back just for contrast. And not just contrast, but you can tell it's not the right black, and it feels like there's something missing. Like, well, duh, I'm going to write C's on it. Not in the center plates, because you can tell they were reflected over, but we'll do it on the leading edge. But you can also see that this is a little bit lower, and that's a little bit lower. So we raise that one up, and then raise this one up. And then once those are done, then we can put it on these sides, and then these will already be flush with each other, straight, aligned. But then what to do with the holster? Because there's no... Is there decent art of the holster? Just around. Is there, like... Can I get, like, a decent... Like, not even someone wearing it, but just, like... If I press enter, will Google know what I'm looking for? Google has a decent idea. Alright. See, but then they're all wearing it. That's not great because I need like a 90-degree shot. That's better. I could take that. I could take that and then just like use, because it's not very detailed. 500 by 356. I could take that, put it on the side of the tank here, and then how would I attach it to the tank? So I was just thinking, oh, I'll just run some white stripes up the side, but then do what? Wrap them around the turret ring? No. No. Because the evoker is integral. I could just skip out on it. I don't really want to. Unless I just ditch the holster and just put the evoker somewhere. Like I could put it back here, or put it on the turret somewhere, maybe there. Because it's not gonna. If we're gonna have that stripe run all the way back, then it's not gonna work out. Well, we'll think about it. Check back on stream. There's no one. Is there anyone actually watching this thing? I feel like there's this dude with 0 viewers. I'm literally talking to myself. Isn't that something? Oh well, we'll throw it up on YouTube later and then they can watch it, because it's 6 o'clock in the morning in the Europes, and who the hell is up at that time? I know I'm not. I'm not up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a good day. Gekkoukan one. Do we want to go with that look though? It would. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. But do I want the white band behind? What would that look like? Let's just take a new layer. Hang on, we want. Yeah, it's not. I don't want like a pure white, because when you're working on skins in War Thunder, you don't want like an extremely dark color. You don't want an extremely light color. It doesn't look great. You go for like a straight black tank. It's not going to look good. I made that mistake with the Dark Side of the Moon FE4005. I used a straight black, and it doesn't look great. I should probably go back and make it like a lighter black, like Mitsuru's skirt, like that kind of color. That kind of color looks really good in War Thunder. Like if you want a good black, you want this. I don't know its number, as in like this number. I don't know what it is, but that if you want a black, that's what you go for. Because it just looks really good. And then for white, it's not pure white, not bright white, it's like an off-white. How much? I mean, that'll do the job. We just want to look to see what it looks like in the back. It's above it. Brush size. Because that's the hard part about this skin, or that's the hard part. I'm repeating myself. That's the hard part about this skin. There's white in the shirt, and I don't know where to put that, because I feel like it needs to be on the skin to try to tie the whole thing together. But I don't know what I should do with it, where I should do it. With the 7s, it was just a couple stripes here and there, because the 7s uniform is like literally an Adidas tracksuit. I mean, like, look at this thing. We are getting off topic so often, but that's okay, because it keeps me talking, and if I'm talking, then I'm not quiet. 7s, the letter S. I know my ABCs. I watched Sesame Street. But it was years ago. There it is. Yeah, look at this thing. It's literally black with like a white stripe here and there. And that's what made the 7s. I mean, you could say like, oh, you need to incorporate the white of the shirt. But it's not. I mean, it's literally a turtleneck and it's some bit in the midriff area. That's it. On the female uniform. The male uniform is just... Unless you're the main character and you got your jacket open, then it doesn't really matter. So that one was easy. Again, it's not that super noticeable. What you're going to notice is you're going to notice the stripes on the sides first. I mean, I suppose you could argue that we could just dip the white, or dip on the white, because they're wearing a jacket over. Where's the Gekkoukan stuff? I swear, maybe I should just keep the window open. Yeah. I mean, we could just skimp out on it because it's not that noticeable, but at the same time, it's part of the outfit. It's not like an all black, right? And you could almost say there's a balance between those 3 colors, the red, the white, and the black, so we've got to implement the white somehow. It's just a matter of finding out how. Explaining a little bit of the process I'm doing right now, I'm merging down all the layers that I want to pop, that I want to be noticeable, that's not covered up by rust or anything. I'm merging them all into this one layer. I am then duplicating that layer, and then pasting one of those duplicates directly on top of the RGB. The other goes on top of my backdrop camo thing color, base color. Add a black layer mask, copy and paste the alpha into the mask, anchor the layer. Look at how nice that looks. That's the kind of look where you can If you notice the white on the alpha, it's now colored in with the black that I used. So that's what I want. Merge down, create another layer mask, and then export that to this. And part of me wants to go with that, but it's awkward. I have to put white somewhere else, because that would be like the only area on the tank that's white, other than the front there. Yeah. My mouse wheel is a little bit wonky as of late. See, I've got the gray here for like the zippers on the jacket, going off of some of the concept art I found. We've got the red ribbon. If I don't have the white there, where would I put the white? On the turret? I've toyed with the idea of just doing like a single stripe up the center of the turret, but just based on how the Shujin Challenger turned out, I don't really want to do that. And also the white kind of looks awkward with a ribbon. And there's no, like, I can't just use it for highlights because there's, like, nothing to highlight because there's all this crap on the side of the turret. I'll figure that out later. For now, I'm going to get the line on the, going to get the armband figured out. And I can always come back to it later if, there. I did notice before that it's not all the way to the edge there. We don't want that corner to be there. We want it to just kind of fall off like that. Backside too, so it needs to be extended a bit. And we also split it into like 4 different pieces to align everything. Thankfully, too, those pieces are going to be mirrored over, so that means less work for me. Hi Xana, how goes your stream? I'm here. Oh hey, Reflex! Reflex and Shadow, the 2 MVPs. How you boys doing? I know Shad knows about it. I don't quite know how Reflex knows about it, but hey you two, what it do? Alright, so what was the deal with the band? Do I want that height? No, I want it to clear this little hole in the armor, so we're going to raise that up a bit. The hole in the armor is where? There it is. So we're going to raise that up. Just to clear it, because I don't want it too high, because it's already like it's a thick stripe, and I don't want it to be too, what's the word I'm looking for? Obnoxious, I guess. So is that a good height? Is that a good height? Let's check. I have to do this lengthy process each and every time. I suppose the layers that I've decided are permanent, I could just merge down, and then that's less layers to merge, but there might come a time where I want to move things around later on. So for now, I like to keep all these layers just in case I can shift things around if I want to. I did something wrong. Hang on, back up. Back up. There we go. The nice thing is I've been doing it for so long that there have been times where I'm just like doing it on autopilot. And I know that the minute something goes wrong, I know it. I'm not paying attention, but you just know it. I don't know if that's a good thing, or if that's a bad thing, or if that's just a thing. Still, I don't know if I want like a gap in there. Because I don't know if I... do I want it much higher than that? I mean, is it that noticeable? Is that little... What the hell does this hole in the armor even serve? It's not on the other side. No, it is on the other side. What does this... What's the point of this thing? Its sole purpose in existence is to make my life just a bit more difficult. It isn't, but I really can't think of a reason why it's there. Do I like that height, though? I feel like I want a gap in between the base color and then this stripe thing. So let's raise it up a bit. Let's give it that gap. Let's give it that gap and just go with it. I'm not going to check it. I'm just going to go with it. We're not going to get to the Yasogami Challenger, are we? That's going to be a pain in the ass just to do. Because the Yasogami uniform is... It's like, the female uniform is like the classic sailor thing. And then the male uniform isn't too bad, but it's got all these, like, stitches running the length of the damn thing. And then the female uniform has that yellow scarf, which I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do with. Right, height. I'm getting distracted. That's... okay. No, because I have to check it to align everything later on. Well, I might take a break from this one. If I can get the body done, the gun's incredibly easy. What am I doing? Duplicate, right? The gun's easy. It's just the color, and then do I want to put the C's armband on the thing though? And then Gekkoukan? That might be nice. We'll figure that out later. Export. Just recently used Shujin. Not Shujin, Gekkoukan. What am I saying? Oh, that's better. I like that. Okay, that's much better. So, what are we going to use as... let's start from the back. And then we cut it there. Now we're going to cut that individual piece, move it up to match that, and then follow suit with the rest. So let's do that. I know there's probably a history thing, check, whatever, so I don't have to constantly close the document and then open it back up, but I don't know what that is. So, we're just going to do it this way. This is how I've been doing it. So this is how we're going to continue to do it. Where's the seam at? It's right here. So let me just take this all the way to the edge of the plate, which is there. And then we can just cut that and paste it. It makes it its own separate layer, which makes manipulation a little bit. Now that I have the whole thing, the whole line roughly where I want it, I can then chop it up into the 4 pieces and then move everything up and down to where I want it. And then once those 2 center pieces are done, because I'm using the end to sort of gauge what level I want and everything. And then those 2 center pieces are going to be mirrored, so they're already going to be in line. So then it's just the 2 end pieces on the, what is that, the left side of the tank? So let's see, how far up do we need to move this thing? 6, 7 maybe? 6 or 5. 5 or 6, one of the 2. This is the piece. Needs to be moved up, so let's see here. Let's try that. The evoker is still on there, I know. I'll get rid of it if I figure out what I want to do with it. If I want to do anything with it. Do I want to do anything with it? I thought I would. Wait, what am I doing? No, I want to duplicate this layer. Export that. Okay, let's see what that did. Ooh, that's... I feel like, I don't know, man. That's, it looks, I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. Is that perfect, or could we move it down one? It feels offset a little bit. Maybe that's the angle I'm looking at. Nah, fuck it, good enough. Let's move on to the other one. Thingy check. Now we're good. I feel like there's a way to put this somewhere where I can see it and not just... I'll figure it out later. I'll ask Shad. He knows more about this stuff than I do. Unless Reflex knows. He might know. I don't know if he streams. I should ask him. Later. I'll ask him later. Wait. How much do we need to move up the other side? 3 or 4? That's the end. That's this side. Okay. I need to make sure I don't cut the edge off of the other side. So we just want this piece. Oh, we went too far. We want... there? Yeah. And we said move it up 3, 4. Let's try 4. Alright, let's see what that did. Yeah, we need to enable these two. If you start merging, if you start the process before all your layers are visible, what would happen was once you get to this point, if these two layers aren't visible, this layer would merge directly into this one. So, you know, before you start merging, just as a precaution, make sure everything's visible. Otherwise, your end result is going to be a hot mess. And we don't want that. Well, you probably don't want that. I don't care either way, because I'm not the one doing it. Is it intelligent to laugh at your own jokes? Probably not. Oh god, what am I doing? Merging down, yes. I have the fucking attention span of a fruit fly sometimes, I'll tell you what. Someone's replaced my brain with that of a goldfish. Can you imagine that? Alright, let's see what that did. This is the piece we're watching here. Ooh, it's up too far. Scale it back 1. Or 2. One of the two. 1 or 2. Probably 1. It's not that far offset. Wait, shit. Up or down? Down. Okay. It didn't look like nothing because in the grand scheme of things, we're literally moving these things up or down like 2, 3, 4 pixels. But I want them to be aligned, goddammit, and if that's what it takes to align them, then by golly, I'm going to do so. I mean, at least it's not a helicopter skin. Oh god. Helicopters are not easy. Tanks are easy. Airplanes are moderately easy. Ships are moderately to severely easy. Actually, no, they're not. There's just a lot of space to work with, and they shrink it down, so that's not fantastic. But I've only done like 1 ship skin, so what the hell do I know? Helicopters, though. Not easy. I've done 2. Wait, what the hell's not working? Oh, I'm just trying to save it, my dumbass. Export. I was wondering why it wasn't working. But no, helicopters take me a long time. I've done 2. I've done the Red Bull job for Reflex, and I did the IR 330 for Joker. And oh, there we go. That's perfect. Well, See, the top looks fine, but that doesn't look... Fuck it, alright. And then the last bit is up. What, 2, 3 maybe? So it's just that last bit. But it's kind of its own piece. No, it's not its own piece. It's still connected to the... Is it connected? Yeah, it's still connected to the back. So we need to... For the cut and paste job. That's good. Okay. 2 new layer. And then what do we say? Down to? No, up. Up to. So... Save that. Yeah, make those visible. Merge them all down. And then what I can do for the other side is just take one of those little bits. Since we saw earlier, we can just like stretch it and it doesn't make it look any worse. And then just put those on the opposite side and then make sure all those line up. Add layer mask. Anchor layer, merge down. Export recently used. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look so much better than what we started off with? Man. And the best part is, these two are already kind of sort of aligned on this side. Yeah. So all we gotta do is just put some there and put some back there. And then the side skirts will be done. Wow. Isn't that nice? Oh, I also need to write season at some point. That's also something we need to do. Anybody saying much? No one's saying anything. Is anyone watching much? No one's watching. Awesome. No, I don't want to do that. I need that back. No, I don't want to start A and B. No, stop, go away. No, hang on. There we go. No, stop, go away. Can I take all these and just merge them down? Yeah, but we'll duplicate this one because that's the one that we're going to use down here. And rename that to what, left side? That way I don't screw anything up. This is... Okay, so that's what we want to merge everything down to. 7, merge down. Alright, there. Now that's all in one line, I guess. Rename this one. I said it before and I'll say it again. It is sometimes helpful to name your layers just so you don't get lost. Because that's happened to me before and I delete the wrong layer by accident because I didn't label the damn thing. So, you know, label your stuff. It's helpful. How high does this... This is the front? Yeah, it's the front. How high does this thing need to be? Are there any sort of clues we can look for on the armor itself? Oh! That bit right there. Let's align it with that. And there. How far does this thing need to be over? Where does the plate start? Just about there. Okay, so we'll just extend it past... Yeah, we want that covered, so... There. Alright, we'll see how that stacks up. No, seriously, what am... Ooh, what if we just did a single stripe up the middle of the turret and then left the body alone? Would it interfere with anything? Probably would. But I can just paint it to match. So would we just cut the evoker? We could, because it's not that integral. Because again, we're doing this off the school uniform. Well, I kind of broke that rule by adding the C's armband. Save as? No, not save as. Export. Let's see what that did. Ooh, okay. So that gives us the starting position. So down quite a bit. What's that? 8 or 9 maybe. Any questiones? No. I keep checking that chat thing, so if you have any questions about this entire process, you know what? Oh god, I forgot about if I need to move it up or down. Down. So yeah, if you have any questions, ask. That's what I'm here for. Or you could spend 12 hours chatting around on some forum somewhere, and you might get a straight answer out of them. I don't know. I lost count of what I was doing. Good enough. Talking, who knew that talking and trying to do something else at the same time was so distracting? It must be nice to be able to multitask. Chop vegetables while talking on the phone without cutting off your own finger. Texting on the phone while driving without getting into an accident. Man, there's some real people with superpowers out there, my goodness. I can only do one task at a time. I can't talk and do this at the same time. How many mistakes have I made already? Must be an acquired skill. I too would like to be able to talk on the phone and cut vegetables without severing my appendages, but goddamn, it's quite difficult and I don't feel like practicing. I don't have many appendages left. Export. Ooh, okay, getting closer. That's... what do you think? 4? 5? And when I say 4 or 5, or I name a number, I'm meaning how many times do I have to press the down key on the keyboard for it to line up. I've gotten pretty okay at guessing. Since this is what? The third skin where I've had this stripe thing on the side? Maybe what I should have done is just kind of like kept the stripe the same across each iteration. That way I wouldn't have to line it up. But, I mean, I didn't really know that this is where I would end up doing this kind of stuff. And on the... I can already tell on the Yasogami one, I'm probably going to have a stripe going on the side too, except it's not going to be striped, it's going to be that stitch pattern. Just maybe 2 rows going across the side skirt, so that's going to be something completely different. What do we say, 4? 5? 4? 4. So difficult doing this and talking at the same time. Wow, first world problems, my goodness. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. What the hell am I doing? Oh, right, we need to copy this. And I can't multitask to save my life. Multitask to end my life. Now that's easy. Can you drink this bottle of alcohol while playing Russian roulette at the same time? Well, yeah, one more, probably. So I was 5, not 4. Close. And 1. For the fume extractor, instead of putting C's, I might just put, make it red, and then do the stripes on the side. So like, I might just make this bit red, and then maybe here along the front edge here, and the back edge here just have a black stripe. And on the other tanks, I did the school name, but I might, and then so I'll just put Gekkoukan High there as well. Because on the, for example, on the Shujin, I did put, Shujin. And then on the St. Hermelin one, I put St. Hermelin. The positioning is slightly different, yes, but I think I got the positioning information for the St. Hermelin and the Sevens from the same texture. Yeah, pretty well, maybe. Was it Shujin or Sevens? It doesn't, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter, I guess. I'll just nick the St. Hermelin and then fit it to the thing. English. Duplicate. I probably already duplicated the layer, didn't I? Add layer mask. Export as. Come on. In case you're wondering what this this MG whatever, I honestly don't know what that is either. At first I thought it was this machine gun up here, and it might be, but I mean you can see it says sample on literally everything else, including the gun mount, but it doesn't say so on the machine gun, so I've just kind of left it alone. The only textures I really have to edit for the Challenger 1 Mark II is the body, the turret, the gun, and then the mount, which encompasses basically this little ammo crate here. Although it is interesting that the game kind of tells you, even in the BLK it lists the mount as a texture that can be swapped out. On Soviet machines it doesn't. Because, fun fact, the little ammo crate on the machine gun, yeah. So the little ammo crate right here, you can texture that. The game doesn't like give you the textures, you have to go digging around the CDK for it, but you can. You can texture that. The front and the back is mirrored though, so like I've tried putting a check flag on it before and it's backwards on the back and it doesn't look very good, and then you gotta worry about the sides. And just because you can doesn't mean you should. For the most part, I've just kind of left this alone on most of them, but yeah. I'm just surprised that the Challenger kind of tells you it can be swapped out. The Soviet ones don't. Just a little oddity I noticed. Have I swapped it yet? Oh my gosh, I have such a one-track mind. Holy shit. So many jingles or keys in front of me, I'm going to get distracted. Okay, so it is already lined up. So all that's left is the back, and we can just copy and paste that over. Maybe it would help if I wrote out a script for these. Well, no, considering this is the only stream I'm ever going to do ever, so I don't really think I need to. Duplicate layer. We'll slide that bad boy over. Taking too long. How is it in accordance to the evoker, right? Where the E is. Okay. That's the wrong side. This one, yes. Right about there. Okay, now where's the evoker texture at? There it is. No, I don't want to duplicate the damn thing. Delete. Delete. Okay, good. Let's see what that does. I suppose I should have said so at the very beginning. Did I say so at the very beginning? About how long this whole stream was going to last? Probably 2 hours. Probably. Because Gaijin kind of wants to turn the game off to update, and that's going to be like midnight for me, so. I also should take this opportunity to apologize. The video I came out with like a week ago announcing this thing was... What's another word? What's the word? I'm trying to say not deliberate, but undeliberately isn't a word. It was unintentionally misleading. Because I said, what was it that I said? I said 6 o'clock in the morning UTC on December 11th. But my thought process was, oh, I want to do it at 10 o'clock my time. So what's 10 o'clock my time? Oh, 6 a.m. UTC. Completely forgetting the fact that between 10 and 6 the day changes. So December 11th for me would have been December 12th for like Liz, for example, over in the UK, or Endrose in the Czech Republic. I don't know what it would be for someone living in Australia. I think Rose or Reflex would be the ones to ask in that case. I used to have a clock dedicated to one of them, but I think I got rid of it. Oh well. Duplicate. Merge down, add layer mask. Anchor layer, merge down, add layer mask. Export as this thing, dip, Challenger, Gekkoukan 1, export, replace. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Alright, so up, what, 3, maybe 4? Yeah. Yeah. And then once that's done, I guess I'll declare what needs to be done left. The gray lines I'm keeping. I'll need to clean it up because the tip of that thing and the inside of that ring should not be red. So that's just because the end's overextended. Is that... it's not far enough over. I need to fix that. That's not far enough over. I need to fix that. That's fine. And that's not far enough over and not far enough up. Ugh. I suppose it's better I realized it now rather than later. Is this? It is. How far up did we say? 3, 4, one of the two. 1, 2, 3. Let's try that. It's a lot of trial and error, just like a helicopter skin, but tank skins don't make me want to tear my hair out. Helicopter skins do. They're not easy. Well, maybe they are. They're time consuming though. And I've only done 2, so I've only done 2 helicopter skins, so I already know that I'm an expert in helicopter skins because I've done 2. I talk too much. Merge down, add layer mask, export as Gekkoukan 1. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, no, that would have been 4. Is it? I can't see it because of the stupid window. Yeah, I could raise it up 1. Well, fuck it. You know what? Let's test drive it just to see, because the angles in the hanger are stupid. Another thing I noticed, like, texture quality is different. It's weird. It looks different in the hanger as opposed to a test drive. I don't know if it's the way the lighting of the map works is different than the hanger or what, but there have been a couple skins I've made that they look like trash. Well, it's not that they look like trash, they just don't look as good in the hanger, but then once you take it out into like a test drive or an actual match, it looks fine. I don't know what causes that. I don't know if it's just me, but considering most people aren't going to be ogling at it in a hangar, they're probably going to be playing it on a normal map. I'm not too worried. Why can I still hear the turret? Okay. Oh, the stupid grass isn't. Oh, the stupid grass is in the way. Yeah. Yeah, we'll raise it up one, just to be safe. And did this one also need to be extended? It did. Okay, so let's just take care of that as well. Okay. And let this do the others as well. So, right side back. What about the front? Front as well. I really hope this doesn't screw things up, because I did merge everything. We're not going to save it, just in case that did screw things up. But then we run into like the really awkward scenario where if it does fix everything, and I don't save it, and I go back because I want to change something later on, and then it reverts my changes, we're not going to save it. We're gonna do things the hard way, because that's just how I do things. Because why make things easy and boring? Let's make things as difficult as possible, because that's more exciting, right? Duplicate layer, merge down, add layer mask. Okay, we're not even going to get to the Yasogami Challenger at all. Anchor layer, merge down, add layer mask, export as, template. No, we want Gekkoukan 1. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. Look there. Because we stretched it. So instead what we'll do is we'll copy a segment and we'll just paste it on the end so then it doesn't look like ass. Yeah, so it's a good thing. Yeah, so it does need to be moved up one. So in that case, it's a good thing we didn't save. Otherwise, we would have a bit of a clusterfuck on our hands. So let's just raise. I didn't save it, so that still needs to be raised up by 1. Oh. And we can just take right side, take a segment of it. Yeah. Copy that. And then all I have to do is just move it down to the end. Make sure, to a new layer. Yeah. Yeah, nice. We can do the same thing down on this end as well. Also the new layer. And then what was the other side that needed it? The back side of this one. So that would be another one. Bring that down to... too far. Oh gods, where is it? This side. Over here further. Yes. Yes. To new layer. Okay, so let's check that. That looks... that's a lot of layers. But it gets the job done. As long as I don't lose track of what's what. I'll definitely merge these end pieces down later on, and then just merge the stripes that are for the left and right side into their own little layers. once they're all squared away, that's less I have to worry about. What? That was stupid. Merge down, add layer mask, anchor layer, merge down, add layer mask, file, export as, recently used, Gekkoukan 1, replace. At some point though, I feel like I owe it to the people watching this thing, all 0 of them, that I should do at least a little bit of the skin start to finish. Because at this point I've just been touching up the chassis for like an hour. And sometimes it really do be like that. I moved it up though, right? Didn't I? I thought I moved it up. Did I move it up? Hang on. I thought I moved that back end up. I'll need to drive it to a flat spot though. And the road's like across the map. Sounds bugging out. Wonder if that's a connection thing. Wait, is there a dirt road here? Oh, we can just stop right here. Okay. We're looking at that back corner. Yeah, see it. That top line looks out of place. What does the other side look like? It does that too. God, I really hope that's not just like an engine thing. I mean, it's not perfect. There's a way to make it perfect. You'd have to open up the tank in a piece of 3D modeling software like 3ds Max or Blender. I don't know how to do that. There's a lot of skins out there that use that method, but I have no idea how to do that. So this is just the method I use. Yes, it's a lot more time consuming. Yes, it's arguably more difficult, but I can achieve close to the same, if not the same result. So, you know, my own personal suffering doesn't matter. It's because it's not about me, right? It's about the work I produce. I want it to look good. I want people to enjoy it. If I can do that, then I don't care how long it takes me. Although I will admit a month is pushing it. Because that's how long helicopters take me. A solid month. Because they're just that difficult. I mean, did I say difficult? I meant time consuming again. Sorry. A little slip of the tongue there. But I think that's... I still need to write C's on the side of the thing. Blech. I thought we were done. Oh no, what font? Oh, well, first things first, let's focus on merging the layers. This is for the end on the left side. What's this? Left side, left side, left side. Okay, merge all those 3 down. Merge down, merge down. Okay, this is for the right side. This is also for the right side. Merge down, merge down. Okay, so now we've got the left side. I've got the right side. Okay. Now we just need a font for writing the old C's bit. And I have no idea what font to even use. I could just take... Do I have any samples of that I could just use? I do, actually. I do, but it's in the wallpapers folder, and it's going to take us forever and a half to find. Is it worth it? It might be worth it, but it might also be in the weird decision where, come on, open to the folder faster. I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here with those 2 other folders staring at me. Oh, God, this is going to take forever, isn't it? Fuck it. No. I spelled evoker wrong, didn't I? That could work, but do we want the whole thing and then... We could. Yeah, let's use that. That could work. That could work nicely. Because then I don't have to worry about spelling it out or picking a font that might or might not work. That probably wouldn't work. That probably would work. There it is. Open with GIMP, because we're not using Photoshop. Because Mama didn't raise a bitch. Actually, no, I just don't know how to use... Oh dear. Yes. What would it look like? Oh no, that's not... Oh, that's not gonna... No, that's not... No, that's not gonna work at all. Right, font it is then. Solid black. Now the fun part. Guess which font's the closest? Whoa, Nelly. We are in for a fun time. And do I want... How big? How much space do I have to work with? Okay. Figure something like that. Let's... 70? Maybe, but it's going to be different sizes for different fonts depending on what we choose. And... So let's see. What kind of font? Just as a sample. Where's the image I just had opened? No, you can close that. You can close that. There. This thing. Right. Okay, so we need... I think that font's called serif, and I don't think we have anything that has the E's angled in that way. Can I just find a sample of it? Let's try... Pointless. Well, that got us absolutely nowhere. Look, Mom, Nazis. Right, I guess we'll just find a font that looks close. Or go digging through the wallpapers folder for that one image that I know will work. Is it in the... I might have already pulled it, actually, and stuck it in with the KV1. All those many years ago. But where's the KV1? I didn't. It's not in here. Did I actually use it for... No. Yeah, no, I nicked that directly from... The entire stripe I nicked from the wallpaper. It's not... It wouldn't work here because it's different. Like the color and the shade change as you move from left to right. So if we would have used it, that small section that would have been mirrored wouldn't have looked good. That's why we need it to be a solid color, solid shade all throughout. So that's not going to work. So we just need something that looks close and isn't a disaster. Do we have anything close? Now the fun part of going through literally all the fonts I have. No. That could work. That could work. That could work. Yeah, let's go with that actually. Do we want it? We'll line up the S between those 2 points. We'll duplicate it. We'll put on the other side also between those 2 points. Flip it around. Hope it's not backwards. Save that. We'll see how it works. Duplicate layer. Hopefully this will be Hopefully this will work, or at least look somewhat presentable, so we can move on to, like, the gun, or the turret, or the little machine gun thingy. Wouldn't that be fun? Did I try to save it again? I did. My dumbass. Okay, what does that look like? Oh, ooh, hey! Hey! Yeah, okay, I can... Okay, that's something. Hey, that's alright, yeah. We need to clean it up. I forgot about that. You saw all the pieces of red that was just like all over the place. We can't have... No. What is this folder? No, not this one. Did we close the folder I was working on? I did. You notice the bits of red that was all over the place. It's because at the edges we extended it past. So I need to go through and I need to cut off where the... What do they call it? Those I call it an armored skirt. I need to cut off where it ends. That way it doesn't bleed over into, you know, stuff that is right next to it. So like the red up here, I need to deal with that, because that's not supposed to be red. The tool up here on the inside of that ring, they're not supposed to be red. Just little bits like that, cleaning up as you go along. Gekkoukan. Here it is. Okay. Let's see here. Well, no, let's not. We don't need to do that. We can just turn it off, and then we'll assume that's the edge there. And then just delete that, and there we go. Do the same thing for the end. How do we determine the edge? Figure there to about there, I guess. Doesn't have to be exact, just as long as we're deleting the bits that overlap or cover up anything else. That's primarily what we're after here. Because you can see that it would cover up this little thing here. We don't want it to do that. So we're going to cut it off here. So that shouldn't cause any thing that's not supposed to be red to be red. So now we want to do on the chassis though, right this side. Right there. Yes. Save that. Now, assuming that fixed everything, is there anything else in the body we need to work at? I don't think so. Again, I could put the evoker somewhere back here, but the crest already takes up that spot, and whatever I put over here will be obscured, and I don't really want to do that. So we'll move on to the gun, since that'll be easy. But first things first, we need to export this. Make sure the changes that we made actually, did anything. I just duplicated that layer for no reason, didn't I? That's the layer we need to duplicate. Merge down, add layer mask. Anchor layer, merge down, add layer mask again. Export as. Okay. Recently used. Gekkoukan 1. A common naming scheme I actually use a lot, and you'll see it a lot, is the body. I always name, whatever 1. And then the turret is whatever 2. The gun is 3, and then maybe the machine gun mounting is 4, or add-on armor is 4, or whatever. You don't have to name your stuff after that. You can name your stuff whatever you want to, but that's just the way I do it. because it's helpful, and I've been doing it for a number of years now. Ah, okay, cool. So that red bit there isn't red anymore, and the stuff on the back isn't red anymore. Okay, so, all right, so let's, yeah, all right, let's stop working on the body for now, and we can start working on the gun probably, which is Gekkoukan 3. Yeah, so what I did, as you can see, what I did is I just literally copy and pasted the 7's gun, renamed it Gekkoukan, and this is what it is. But that's just because I can get the text in the right place. And is it the right color? Let's open up Gekkoukan 1 again. It looks like it. I probably did make them the same color just for simplicity's sake, but I don't want to take the risk that the gun would just be a different color than the rest of it. So let's make sure. Yeah, so it was ever so slightly darker. And then do we want that to be... Do we want that to be white? I think on all the other jobs it was white. On 7, why do I even need to check 7's? I was just looking at it. 7's is white. Hermelin, I think, is white. Do we want to keep that a uniform thing? If Shujin was white, then yeah, we'll just... Yeah, Shujin was white as well, so let's go with Gekkoukan being white. I also want to make sure I get the proper spelling for Gekkoukan since I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. Let's make sure we got it. 2Ks, Okan, okay. I want to make sure it's spelled correctly to avoid looking like an idiot. Text. And then can we go... Alright, okay. And then do I want to make the theme extractor red? That would really drive the point home about there being a lot of red. But would it be too much? Because we've got the red on the ribbon, and we've got the red on the side. Presumably there won't be any red on the turret. Let's finish it. Let's finish the thing, and then that'll give us a better idea of where we stand. Because I don't want to just make too much red off the start just because of reasons. Save that. Do we need to duplicate? We do, yeah. Because I want the text to be seen. Merge down. Oh gods, what was I supposed to do? Add layer mask, yes. Layer, merge down, add layer mask, and export as Gekkoukan 3. Okay. Now, because I don't think I changed the BLK yet, we need to go in and do that now. There it is. Okay, so that's done. The gun. By the way, I recently figured out how this works. So there's two methods that you can use for making tank skins, right? And depending on what method you use or what you end up exporting the file as, you can write two different things. I've always done the replace bit. So like it says here, replace text with, from this texture to the texture I'm feeding it. This basically sets it up as, if you use this method, you can actually use decals over the skin. So like if we looked at my old Vaijin skin that I adapted for War Thunder's spring contest thing like 6 months ago, I adapted one of them to use this model so you could put decals on it. But for the most part, I don't do that. So all we have to do, and plus you have to export those textures as like a TGA anyway, and that's kind of weird. Or maybe not a TGA. I don't remember the process because I don't like doing it that way. We're not working on that, so Gekkoukan 3 .tds, and then set text, just change that to replace text. Quotations are in the right spot, and if we did it correctly, and it looks like we did, we should get... There we go. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Isn't that nice? Right, so gun's done. Wasn't that easy? We'll keep that open for now, since we're not quite done with the skin itself. We could just do the gun mount right away too. Is it going to get in the way of the stripe thing? No, it's not. So let's just do the gun mount right now. I didn't copy it over. Is the texture on... Okay, there it is. Move this down. We need to get the color back from the body again. Well, we could use the gun too, but because again, everything has to be the same color. And we're not putting any decals on it, so we don't need to duplicate any layers. Just easy peasy. File, export as. I'm not even going to bother saving it because the process is so quick. If I screw something up, I can just remake it again. What will we name it? Gekkoukan 4. Okay, go into this. Okay, that should have done it. Yeah. It's hard to tell, but wait, is there a sample on the machine gun? Okay, we're gonna have to fix that at some point. But yeah, you can see the ammo little box change color, and that's literally all there is to it. It's just that little box, and then I guess from the front whatever it's stuck on, but you can't really see it in normal play, so it's whatever. And now the turret, the fun part. Is it still the 7's turret? It is. We need to change the color back to what I had it set. Good God, why do I have the 2 instances of this thing open? We'll keep one of those to pull the color, though. Yeah, you saw it was ever so slightly lighter. And then, what was this for? Oh, that was the color of the blanket. I suppose we should talk about that. What color do we want the blanket to be on this thing? We can't make it black because the whole tank is black. I'm tempted to make it red, but I don't know if the Gekkoukan logo would fit well with that. We could stick the evoker. Ooh, we can make it that white and then stick the evoker on it. But up until this point, I've been using the school crest, except in the case of the Shujin. I wish I put the Phantom Thieves logo. Well, we'll see what happens when we get there. For these, we can get rid of... Yeah, let's get rid of these. Delete layer. Delete layer. Delete layer. Okay, we need the Gekkoukan High symbol. Yeah, I'm only going to keep this whole stream thing running for another about 30 minutes. That reminds me. Any further questions? No. For another 30 minutes or so, because as I said earlier, Gaijin wants to update their game, and in order for them to do that, they need to shut down mine. So, I guess when Gaijin kills the game, then that'll be it for this. I know one of them goes down here. We might actually finish the Gekkoukan one in that time. We won't get to the Yasogami today, but that's okay. The Gekkoukan one has been bothering me for a while now, so it'll be nice to get that done and out of the way. And then that'll just leave the Yasogami and Karukozaka if I decide to do it. I don't know if I want to do Karukozaka. What the hell would that even look like? That weird stripe pattern on the side skirts, and then what? Probably a blue chassis. Do I want a blue chassis or do I want a white chassis? Probably a white chassis, and then what? Blue turret? That'd be kind of bizarre, but I mean, I guess we could do that. Duplicate layer. I think it was this one. Yeah, let's save that and test it out. Layer mask. Export as. Gekkoukan 2. Okay. And that should... Alright. You can't really see it on this side because of that storage bin. But on this side you can see it. Doesn't that look... Wow, that actually looks okay. I still feel like there's not enough white to highlight it. So we might just make the... Could we make the blanket white? There was another skin I did, I think it was the Sevens one that I made the blanket white, and it kind of looked weird. So I don't know if I want to replicate that. Because we could just make it red. Because on the Shujin one, that looked okay. But yeah, no, the blanket's like the only thing left. Let's do the blanket being red and see what that does. Just real fast. You're gonna need a new layer. Also, what red? I need to pull up the body so I can get the red. I need to keep these colors uniform across the board. Okay. This is the blanket right here. I didn't need to do that. This. Yes. So... This is the blanket. This dark spot in the center here, this is what's going to be against the hull. So the two ends, this here and this here, are going to fold up. That's what we see here. These edges here, these are the edges. So that dark part is at the bottom and then they fold up. So we're going to have to put our crest here, but the top is going to be facing this way, right? And then the bottom is down here. Yeah, I need to be more precise than that. Here. I don't really think I need to cover the edges of the blanket, because I thought about this a while ago. I have no idea if this is a blanket or a rubber mat. If it was something like a foam or rubber mat, like you cut into it, and the inside material is already going to be a completely different color than the outside, sometimes. Because I know we've had these mats in high school, these red mats, but you cut into them and it's like this yellow foam on the inside. Or I don't know if this is a blanket, in which case you cut this thing in half and it'll be red on the inside. We get these lines over here, but again, I don't know if it's foam or if it's like some kind of weird cloth. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. Okay, that's red. Gekkoukan logo. Where'd I put it? There it is. Oh dear. Oh wait, no, there it is. New layer. Shrink it down to sizes that shouldn't even be possible. There certainly is going to be a trade-off in quality. Like, you look at this thing under a microscope and it's going to look like ass. But we stick it there. Does that look like the center? -90. Okay. Okay, we'll save that. Merge down, merge down, merge down. And I learned this little blanket trick when I did a job for someone. They wanted like some sort of baguette delivery thing for the ARL. And they told me about the blanket. And I had never tried that before, editing the blankets on vehicles. But I did it for him, and he liked it, and I actually liked it. I thought it worked rather well. So for some of the skins that do have something like that, I do edit those just because I thought they looked cool. Or cooler. Gekkoukan 2. Yeah, look at that. It's kind of wonky because the texture will warp as it's wrapped around the model itself, but like that's not bad. Like I think I could get on board. I like that. I like that because it brings out the red in the side and it does kind of like wrap everything up in a pretty little bow. I do feel like there could be more white. What I could do, these lines right here where I traced over in gray, I could do something similar on the turret just to make all these plates pop. But I don't know. I don't want it to be like too extra. I want it to blend in a sort of way that feels natural, looks natural. This looks okay, it's not super noticeable. I feel like something on the turret might be. But the lines are already pretty well defined. It's either that or a big ugly stripe right up the center, which I did think about. I'll figure that out when I go to touch up the Shujin one. Because I don't think we're going to touch up the Shujin one today. And by touch up, I mean I'm thinking of replacing these two ugly stripes with one that just goes up the center. Because I got the one that extends up from here. And then I might just continue that all the way back. Because when I was doing this line warps and doesn't look fantastic. So I might do that. The only reason I did that is because white is also one of the 3 or 2, I guess, colors in the Shujin uniform. If we look at, because a lot of these I just picked the female uniforms because they have a bit more flair than the male variants. So if we look at Shujin S H, yeah. So you look at the male uniform, red highlights, whatever, for the buttons, white, black, whatever this the hell this pattern is. So white isn't that big, but then if we look at something like this, it's pretty, white's also a pretty integral part to the uniform. And I don't exactly want to skip out on that and just cut it out completely. I feel like it needs to be there, but in what amount? And that's the tricky part. Where if we look at like the female uniform, for example, Makoto, the white's like half the uniform. So we can't cut it out completely. There's a balance. We have to find out what that balance is and then how to apply it in a way that looks visually appealing. And that's the trick to a lot of these things. I don't know what it is yet, but by experimenting, trying things, you know, we're going to get stuff we like, we get stuff we don't like, and that's really the trick. So we got like 15 minutes left before Gaijin throws the kill switch on this. So do we want to touch up the... Yeah, I know. I see that there. I'm not going to dress myself with it because this texture was a pain in the ass to implement in the first place. Do we want to touch up the Challenger? Or do we want to go ahead and start the Yasogami? Just to say that I did it. Just to say that I did it. I suppose we should rename that one to Gekkoukan though, just to finalize that, because that looks good. I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. We could put the evoker in somewhere, but at this point it just feels kind of extra. So let's rename that. Yeah, no, we need to disable it first. Also, no one said anything recently. Discard changes, discard changes, discard changes. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Skins. What did I call the others? Because I want them to have similar names. Enclave, Gregor. By the way, shameless self-promotion. Join Gregor. It's a delightful little server. We got stuff going on sometimes. Did Discord freeze? Discord froze. Stupid Discord. We got stuff going on occasion. Everybody's pretty friendly. We have a match Friday. It's a good time. So, you know. Streamer mode is enabled. Stay safe, friend. Thank you. But no, look at everyone here. Look at how happy they look. Join Gregor. Right, where was I? Right. It's generic Challenger 1. No. Oh, yeah. TGA, 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 TGA. We can just get rid of those. Doesn't need them anymore. I don't know what will happen when we get rid of that. We can get rid of that. We don't need it. We don't need it. Gekkoukan Challenger. Challenger 1. The action can't be completed because the file is open in another program. Oh. So it is. Does that work with what I called all the others? Seven Sisters Challenger, St. Glorian Shujin Challenger, St. Hermelin Challenger. So we don't even need the one. Just Gekkoukan Challenger. And then we just click UK. It can't find it, so it refreshes, and our Gekkoukan is right there. Isn't that nice? Feels a bit too heavy in the red. So yeah, we're going to have to balance that out with some of the white. So we'll replace the gray lines with maybe white, and then do that up on top and see how that looks. But the Gekkoukan uniforms do seem a bit darker in comparison to some of the others. I mean, none of them are particularly colorful, but they do seem darker in the sense that they use dark colors, black and red, as opposed to like black and white, or black and yellow, or that weird green and blue, you know. Or the frickin' assault on the senses that is the Karakosaka uniform. So we got 15 minutes left. What do we want to do? Do we want to start the Yasogami ones? Yeah, let's start the Yasogami ones. So we need to create a template. This is why we rename this, because if we kept that as the template and then tried to create another one, we'd just overwrite everything we just did. And I've spent a couple days on this, and I am not letting it go that easily. There it is. Hideous. Why doesn't it have sample all over everything? That's a question for future me. I need to pull the others. I need to create a copy of these, move them to the Yasogami folder, which is here. Paste it, rename it. And we can get rid of just like literally all this shit. Don't need this, 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 or this, or this, or this, or this. What's this? Oh, the numbers up front. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna keep those. Like every single like challenger has them. This little number here, the little number there, but I don't know. I kind of like it. So I've just kind of kept it on literally all of them. I think it's even on the same, I think the exact same one's even on the St. Gloriana Challenger. It is. Well, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right, so Yasogami. The thing with the Yasogami uniform is this weird stitching that it does. Like, yeah, okay, it's got the black, we can do that. The side skirts, we can use this skirt pattern, because I do have that, because I did use it on the Yukiko Isle too. So, where's that at? Let's look at that real quick. Because I updated it and want to show it off, god damn it. Come on. Oh dear, was it 1941? It was in 1942, wasn't it? That's not it. It was in 1941. It was. Huh. Yeah, so this skirt pattern I already have, so we'll use that. For the side skirts on the tank. It'll just be that pattern. We're going to get some weird alignment. We already know we're going to get some weird alignment issues, but I'm not too concerned about it. Kind of like the Shujin one, given the way that I actually did it, it would just be too much work to align everything, and it probably wouldn't even work. So that means I have the textures for the skirts somewhere still, probably with the Yukiko stuff. So let's get that real fast. It's right here. Was it the update though? 2.0 update. Was this it? But that has that line there, so I can't tile it. So let's take this, and we will stick it there. Okay, cool. So, do I have a sample to pull the black from? No, I don't. We could go, yeah. Yeah, it's got this weird stitch pattern that we'd have to use, but I need a sample that's cute but too dark. This is a decent color. Because again, I don't want straight black because that's going to look like ass. But I don't want it like a light gray either. I have this image already. Yeah, I feel like that's too dark. That would be a decent color, but... then what to do about this, though? I could base it off the male uniform, that's just going to be black and white, that's boring. The female is going to incorporate that yellow scarf that I have no idea where I'm going to put. Would I just do like the pattern here and then kind of tie it around the turret ring? And then make... Uh-oh. 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 Okay, we're good. And then just, like, make this area yellow? Or, no? What does it look from the back? Do we have an image of it from the... We do. It's going to be that stripe. We can just ignore that triangle bit. But that... So if we do tie it in the front, and then have that in the back, we would have... Here in the front, with probably the bow here drawn up on the edges there and there. And then, how would we draw it in the back? Just this side here. If we color that part yellow, if we color this thing here yellow, it does wrap around to there, and then draw the rest of the scarf to where it ties in the front, and have it tie right in front of the driver's viewport. That could work. And then we'd have the skirt pattern here, and here. The rest of it would be black. And what we could do, okay, we can't do the stitching pattern there, but then we could do like the lines here as they go up, that stitching thing. And then some of the plates up here, we could also have that stitched look. And of course, Yasogami crest here and there. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That could work. Let's go with that. So we'll pull this so I remember. It's in the downloads folder. We'll have to pull that later. And we'll pull this just so I have an idea. But I need textures. How am I going to get the scarf, though? I need the female variant. Because I need this tie in the front thing. Or do I? Can I just draw it in? With a mouse, that's going to be difficult, but... I have samples I can pull from. So let's take this... Oh, that's right, I needed a sample. Did I get a sample color I could pull from? I thought I did. Yeah, this. Open with... Come on. Is everything still working? Firefox is upset. This thing is upset. Firefox is permanently upset. But that's okay. Okay, cool. Got the color. That's going to be darker than this. Everything is a shade of black. Yeah, I guess that would work. And then... Oh, right, the Yasogami logo would go on the back here. I have that somewhere. Yeah. It broke. Oh, wait, no, there it goes. Do I want it to be white? Well, yeah, it would have to be white. Because as Bob Ross says, and he's absolutely right, you do need the dark to show the light. Because if you have dark on dark, that don't look good. So, scale that down. Okay, there's the back right there. Yeah, we're gonna place this, and then we're gonna have to wrap this up because I don't have a lot of time left before Gaijin decides to throw the switch. And in case you haven't figured it out yet, these persona skins are totally gonna be the next video. I know people have been waiting on the mouse. The mouse is in the works. So is the Type 90. Like the mouse is no it. There, the mouse. There's two of the mouse textures right there. Okay. I'm working on it, slowly but surely. A couple other things as well. But the Persona skin, this thing, is going to come first. And it shouldn't take me more than a few days to finish up the Yasogami one, and then I guess I'll do the Karukozaka. Unless it looks absolutely horrendous, which it might. Let's see how this looks in-game, though. Duplicate. Merge down. Yeah, because I'm not super confident in that back color anymore either. Because again, we want it to be dark, but we don't want it to be too dark. Yes. User skins. Where is it? There it is. There's significantly less textures in here than what I expected. How very... Oh dear, okay, it did that. This happens every now and again where it literally copies the characteristics or properties of the other skin, and then we get this lovely mess. Thankfully, it works exactly the same way as you'd totally expect it to. Actually, no, it doesn't. So it's going to take more time than it's worth. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the other Challenger, or we're going to take the St. Gloriana Challenger one. We're going to copy the BLK, and we're going to stick it into this one and override it so it doesn't have all that stupid stuff. And all we have to do is rename it to Yaso 1. And it will Uh-oh. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. Ah! Customization. Getting down to the wire here. Wait, did it not? It's gonna take a while. Because it's probably trying to find textures that aren't there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that seems a bit too dark. That might be a bit, yeah. Because you see how the rust and junk is. It pops. I don't really want it to. On the others, it's not nearly as bad. Like on the Seven Sisters, like it's there, you know it's there, but see, it doesn't look as, what's the word, accented? This is why you don't do like a straight black tank. I can show you the nightmare that is a straight black tank though. Because my dumbass actually made it. Where is it? Here it is. I'll make more of these, don't worry. Is it even gonna load? Come on. We're burning daylight. Yeah, look. See, you can see all the rust, all the scratches, and ugh. The skin kind of called for it, I know, but that doesn't make it any less hideous. No. This is why you don't use like a straight black. This is why you use like a lighter black, like I showed you earlier on the sevens and on the Gekkoukan. This is why we do it, because you don't want to end up with a hunk of junk like this. Let's switch it back to the Mega Man one. There we go, all better. So obviously I'm gonna have to lighten up the. Yeah, because you can see it's dark, but the rust doesn't like pop. That's not what we want. We want it to be there, we want it to be visible, yes. We want this to look like an actual tank, not some acrylic covered nightmare. But we don't want it to look like the FV did. So we are going to have to lighten up the Yasogami. Yeah. I don't like that. Granted, you're not going to see that because we're going to have the skirt pattern there, but even still, it doesn't. It looks kind of blue almost. So I do want a better sample. But, what the hell was that? Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. I think we made some decent progress. We finished the Yasogami Challenger. That's awesome. We've come to a decision on what to do in regards to the Karakuzaka. That's also awesome. We started the Yasogami. That is also awesome. And we know what we need to do to touch up the Shujin. So those should be done. And then when those get done, I can start recording for the video. And then, you know, more good stuff on the way. But for now, I'm going to make like a tree and fuck off. So, I thank you all. I don't know many people. I have no idea how many people are actually watching this accursed thing. But I thank each and every one of you for watching and ask that you stay tuned, for there is more good stuff to come. Not streams, I'm not going to do one of these again, but like, you know, regular old YouTube stuff. So, see you next time!